Okay, now the next part, this is the side of a 350, an RZ 350. You can see the paint is crazed in a lot of spots. Up here, there's a lot of blistering. There's a lot of little spots on here we want to address. I think there was a little cover or something. Yeah, you can take this off. We'll take that off.
Okay.
You can't do much with this. Don't even try to peel it up. It'll never stick back on. And if that fell off, it's just going to make the chain noise come out. That's the only reason it's there. But the first thing with this part, most important part to understand if you're going to paint, this is plastic?
Plastic.
Yeah. If you're going to paint something like this, it's got to be free of grease, oil, and silicone. If you take sandpaper right now and sand this, guess what happens? You take the grease and drive it down into the paint. So step one on the whole process, we got our, well, where's the green?
How are you?
Oh, the lovely Mrs. Ert. Now, she's, oh no.
How are you, Karen?
I'm good. How you doing today?
Doing great.
So anyway, we're going to put some simple green on it and just let it sit for a minute. Ordinary simple green. That's step one. Let it sit. We're going to try to get this perfectly clean of grease and oil before we go ahead and sand it. Then the sanding of it will be labor intensive, but we'll even out all of the little scratches to where this will be like the part that we just did on a tank. And you can get in all of these things. I'll show you all the little tools I have for doing that. And basically when it's ready to go, you're not going to paint it today, but it'll be ready to paint. That'll be our goal for today. So we got the steam machine getting ready to make some steam for us. And this has been simple greened and SOS pads just to get, all we're doing here is degreasing. We're not trying to scuff anything. This is just to degrease the part. Now, if we could work outside, you know, of course, this would be done today. But you're not going to be able to paint it, but we'll have it all prepped that the next time we have a paint. I think tomorrow's going to rain too, so I'll have to have everything sitting on the shelf ready to paint. And then it's painting and, you know, you can just pick your time. And the thing with the SOS is to get in all the little nooks and crannies and corners and anywhere you possibly can. Because keep in mind, where a paint's going to want to peel, see where it gets small? Think of paint always wanting to shrink.
Sure.
Paint always wants to shrink. So where it's in a valley, that's where you want to scratch it the most. This edge here, where it goes up over, it's never going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem in the valley, in the bottom of these, I don't know what, the simulated lightning holes or whatever. And just rinse it every once in a while, and just between the simple green and the SOS soap, this takes time. But once that part is done and we steam clean it, then we can sand it. This is an important step. I learned the hard way if you don't want to deal with fish eyes for the rest of your life. Right. And we did that one part for Turbo Steve, we just couldn't get rid of the fish eyes. I don't know why, because I wasn't part of the initial prep, but somewhere in that paint job there was something that didn't want to be in there. But we eventually got it. Try to get in every little nook and cranny you can. Especially in those reverse valleys where the paint might be prone to, you know, to pull up at some point in time.
Right.
Now what I'll do is, while you're doing this, while you're sanding this part with the sandpaper and the wet sanding, I'll use the steam machine and the soap and I'll clean Steve's part.
Right.
While we make, what happens, once you make a head of steam here in a steam engine, you may as well, I always say we don't want to throw that steam away. That steam is a lot of money. We could buy some free bagels with that steam. But that'll do a good job of getting the rest of that off of there. When I came back from riding the other day in that salty road, the back of the bike was white. I used that. 15 minutes later, it looked like a new bike.
Really?
Yeah, it really did a good job. The trick is you got to steam it and then wipe it right away before it even cools off. You've got all that stuff on the surface.
On this or on paint?
No, I'm like when you do a wheel after a ride. Doing a good job of fogging up the camera here. It really is taking it. Oh, that's nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Because the more of that stuff you get off, then you don't have it on your hands and contaminate.
Sure.
And you want that part to be like. Now, while Dale's finishing his part of the steaming thing, this is Turbo Steve's fairing. He brought bagels, but he had a call. He had to go off to work. I think he was a hitman for the mafia, to be honest. But anyway, you can see, I wanted to show this. These are the parts that came off. I'm going to do the same thing with the simple green. They're loaded with grease, oil, whatever. We're going to take this apart into pieces. It's got to be glued. We're going to reinforce it with carbon fiber. It'll be better than new. And then we're going to put a finish of Steve's choice on it. And I think he wanted flat black, but, well, I like shiny black, but again. But we got a real good shop day going here. Now let's take the rest of these screws out. And of course, because this is a really rare bike, this is a part you just can't go to Dennis Kirk or somewhere and find. Now here's something, Dale, you can see is how this is loaded with grease. So what I'll do is I'll put this in a sink and just let it soak for a while before I steam it. To get, you see how much, look at the stuff that's in it.
Sure.
But that'll get that off. In the meantime, you could be sanding that part. I put out the sandpaper for you here.
Okay.
Get it dull and flat is all you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get this. Yeah, see, this is really disgusting. Steve, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should wash your bike once in a while. Anyway, we'll get this square. You see how much dirt is in there?
Oh, yeah.
You can't paint a part like that, but we'll get it. When we're done with it, you can put it on eBay for $10. He said this part is really hard to find, so maybe we should lose it.
I'm surprised it's metal.
It's metal. Look at this.
Everything is plastic, that's metal. I'm so surprised. Right?
Oh, I don't know. We'll make it look really nice. What might look nice on this bike? I gotta see Steve. Paint this part flat and this part shiny. We'll paint this silver. The bike is silver. I got some wheel paint. I know Steve, he's so conservative. Anyway, this is the part he says you can't buy anymore on eBay, so we ought to just put this out on eBay right now and send him a copy of the link. All right, so this part now, what I wanted to demonstrate, Dale is taking Q-tip, getting in all the little nooks and crannies. The objective here is to get no part of this that we're going to paint to be shiny. Let me just show this 1 second. This is the part I did here. You can see this is dull with 600 paper. This has to be sanded. And Dale did this little spot here just as a demo. And the main thing is all the little ridges and things. And around the screws, because that's where it'll want to peel up. If you get in there, make sure there's a Q-tip and when we're all done.
You mentioned it's plastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
plastic.
But if it was aluminum, we'd want to have a way that the finish of it is going to stick. That little bit of a tooth where the finish sticks. And it's just the part here, it's just labor. It's not one of these things you got to take it to some factory and they dip it in their tank for $400. This is just, what have you been working? About an hour already? Hour and a half.
Probably.
You got here around 10? Yeah, about an hour.
Yeah.
We're into this about an hour and a half already. And in that hour and a half, we got the tank. The tank is cooking like beautiful. They're looking great, in fact. And I'm going to start cleaning Turbo Steve's parts for him. So we built up another head of steam, and these are all Turbo Steve's parts in here. I'm going to go through the same thing. We got simple green just cooking away. Keep rinsing it with water and a box of SOS, and we're going to be good to go. All this is to do is to get off the grease before we sand it. Notice we got all the grease off of Dale's parts before we put a piece of sandpaper to the part. So if you can imagine, once we steam clean I'm going to have to clean her laundry room up now. Take a look at what Steve's parts did to our laundry room. Oh, disgusting, disgusting. But there's the key to the whole thing. Just go buy yourself a gallon of simple green. And at the end of the job, clean up your bathroom. Actually, it would have been nice if it's raining outside, so we couldn't do anything outside. But getting the parts clean is a lot more work than getting them painted. In this case, once this is dried up and prepped all up, we'll be ready to do the repair.
Yeah, it's coming out really
Man, that is nice. See, but you still have the thing in the valleys.
I didn't get to that side yet.
Fold the sandpaper. No,
Yep.
fold the sandpaper and just get in.
Yep.
Because that's where the paint you'll have an issue with the paint. If it doesn't stick,
Right.
that's where it'll be a problem, is right in that valley.
Yeah, just got into this one here.
And it's just labor. Look, the nice thing about all this stuff, it's just labor. It's a rainy day. I mean, you're not going to wash your car today, that's for sure. It's like babysitting Miles. You just keep putting the furniture back when he knocks it over. Just pick up the flying saucer when he knocks your gas tank off. We'll put a towel over your tank because I think he's going to be in fly it saucer mode today. One of the things on this Turbo Steve's bike, we wanted to just polish up the bolts and wash them. Show this. Maybe we could. Maybe if we're lucky, we can get this on the macro lens. This is one of the original. The bolts. At least we got it cleaned up. The bolts and then the washers and stuff. Semi cleaned up anyway. It's hard to decide which one you want on your bike. I know which one I want on my bike though. Step on this is we're going to re-wipe it with. Dale did a really good sanding on this. This is ready. Unfortunately, still raining out there. We're still waiting for it, so it looks like we're not going to be able to do this. But what we're going to be able to do is we got Turbo Steve's parts cleaned, and while Dale has some time to spend with me, he can be the jig man to hold them in place while we CA them together. That'll make it, in case Steve gets called out on another hit job tomorrow, or the next day we, or if maybe somebody will whack him, who knows. So basically we got a jigsaw puzzle. Let's see which two pieces. It's always good to figure which two pieces will go together. This doesn't look like. This has the little pieces, those little parts there, Dale.
That's what I get.
But this one looks, this has a really big crack here. I don't know, let's see if you can see this on here. This is a big crack. So this we want to do with thin CA. So let me get some thin CA. Steve already got, oh, we got just enough here. This will be good. Let me get this. And we'll just, this is thin Brodax CA. To do this repair, I see the crack is this way, I want to spread it. Okay, that's all I want you to do is just spread it, just a little bit. Don't get any of this on your hands, or we'll be going to the hospital. Let it soak in, it's capillary, now let it go. It'll pop right back out. Now it's right where it has to be. Do this a few times, it works its way in, and you'll see what happens. The dust from the paper towel kicks it off. See, it's on the other side?
Yep.
Wipe with a paper towel, because we're going to sand it anyway. Okay, now, as I squeeze it, see it oozing out?
Yep.
It's not dry yet, so if I want it to dry quicker, I can just put the slightest amount of kicker on it. You see it smoking?
Yeah.
The smoke means it's going off. Okay. So what that does, that just holds it in position for us when we put the carbon fiber on. That's just going to hold that in position for us. But the first thing I got to do before I do anything is sand that down.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a piece of, well, it doesn't really matter. Any of this stuff is okay. A little piece of sandpaper. But you can't sand, you can't do anything to smooth plastic. It'll just come. See, they tried to do it here with smooth plastic. Not happening. So now that it's rough, I'll go get a little piece of carbon fiber out of the box. Yeah, it's still
You gonna
dry
put a piece
enough.
there too?
No, I'm going to do one piece at a time.
But I mean, eventually you'll put.
Oh yeah, we're going to undo that and do it the right way. This is Zappa-Gap, that medium that Steve bought at the hobby shop. It's the same. It's just thicker. It's the same material. So we cut a little piece of raw carbon fiber. Here's what I want to do. Tear me off a clean paper towel or a Q-tip or both. Of course, we're gluing ourselves to the part here. You want to just keep your hand moving the whole time. Once you stop, I get that plenty squeegeed out. See what happens? That's what happens to your fingers if you don't. No, look at this. Unbelievable. That'll kick it off. I'm just going to keep pressing it down. I had to do a lot of this on Vlad's Bomoda the other year. Wow, was that thing that needed a lot of work. Now this is thin. This is not thick. This will just go in and any little spot that isn't on there glued solid already.
Oh, this is even thicker than this. This is medium.
That's medium, yeah. Thick would have been better, but it's not critical. When this is done, this part will be so much stronger than what's right next door to it. Okay, we can touch it now. You can put your finger on it now. I try to do this without a camera cut because a lot of times you try to figure out, well, how long did that take and how long did it take to dry? Well, we're doing it without a camera cut. If I could just get this jig together right now, and then when Steve is here, I'll do that texture finish and see how he wants to do the finishing of it. So we're going to demonstrate. This is just one of the repairs. We got to do. There's 3 or 4 more on this, but this is just how I go about doing it. Mark Morgan's getting good at doing this, I know. Glenn knows how to do this real well. He's, boy, did a lot of work on that Ducati fairing. Wow. So if you see it in real time once, usually you can figure out the rest. You know what I mean, Dale? That's anything that's cracked. That's the right way to fix a crack. Now, if you think if there's a stress here, if this were the seat, say, we put 2 layers or 3 layers, but.
Okay.
I can trim that off when we do the final sanding. And that is, let's see if we can, that is stronger than the part itself. Now the part that we didn't, where the crack is right here, but we're going to just, if this were a smooth part, we're going to put gloss black. I'd sand this smooth and do CA from here, let it capillary. Capillary means it's working its way into every little nook and cranny. But we don't have to do that now because we're going to put a texture finish on this. After we repair all this, and any low spots we'll fill with CA, any high spots we'll sand down, and then we'll put that, like a little jackhammer finish on there so it matches. This is, I don't know what you would even call this. I guess the idea of this is you're riding through a puddle of stones and you don't...
It's almost like textured.
Yeah, I know. I think Karen's car has this on the bottom of the doors or something. Yeah. Anyway, but that is, and we're going to do several of these. I just wanted to show one on camera. Get this part back in one piece. Those pieces go on there, but this one we got to glue together. This is.
Yep.
Now, what if you can hold it here? This what'll be nice if we can do it this way. Mm-hmm. All I need to know is if you're going to be able to hold this reasonably.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you're not. See, there's a piece in there that's not our friend. Get a razor. What it is where we did the repair, there's a little bit sticking up here. We get rid of that right away because we can fill it. But we can't deal with an extra piece. We could deal with a little divot, but not with a piece that's going to separate these two. Here we go. Now, right now, all I need to be able to do is just the slightest bit get these two tacked together. Now, I think what I can do, I'm not sure if I can. See, with having you here to hold it, it'd make a big difference. If we do it this way, if we just do the back, I'm going to put some glue in here, up to here. Now watch. Then I'd like you to try to set that.
Okay.
And
why is that such a big gap there?
No, it'll press together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder if if I can tape this together somehow. Let me
Let
try
me hold
this.
it.
Well, we can hold it too. I'm going to try something new I haven't done. Now, because I have Dale here helping me, we put Gorilla Tape under tension to try to squeeze that together, flip it over, and what we're going to try to do is where we repaired it, I'm going to try to get one spot, let it dry, press it together, another spot, and work it up like stapling something together. But we'll start at one end and do one little piece at a time, and then basically reinforce it with carbon fiber.
That's the spot.
You got the spot?
Yeah,
okay.
right there. Right there.
Okay, as long as you can hold it, I can do the rest. Now I have the carbon fiber in the whole inside of that. That whole thing is done. What Dale is doing is just roughing out the top. And then we'll wipe a little glue on that when he's done. So Dale's putting the final touch on. That part is back. We've got carbon fiber reinforced all inside. We got to put some tin up here. And this will be ready for the cosmetic work next time Turbo Steve's here. Let me show this, Dale. There's a radius edge. We want to have a nice smooth edge on this. The sandpaper that's already on a roll, and we save it at various diameters. It fits right in there, and Dale's able to get that done real nice. I never go to them because I don't, I always have something else to do. Yeah. Anyway, Dale and I ended the day on, we got these parts ready for Steve to do his magic sanding trick. We got them all cleaned up. We got the bolts polished. We got Dale's side cover ready for paint. And the main thing, the way that came out, just perfect. I don't think you could have had a better day. That really was a good day. You enjoy yourself?
Absolutely.
Look at this. He even combed his hair. So lucky Steve brought over some bagels. Where did he put those bagels? Ah! So we thought Steve ate all the bagels. Karen confiscated them. Oh, okay. Oh, he brought butter too?
No, I brought the butter down and he had cream cheese.
Okay. Dale, part of any visit to the Windy Emporium includes one free bagel.
Nice.
Hey, we had a banner day. A banner day. It really. And if you look outside, it's still raining, isn't it? It's disgusting out there.
Yeah, it's like...
But inside, it's Bagel City.
Nice.
So today was a rainy day, but we always enjoy every minute of every day. And both projects we worked on today came out great. Anyway, it is time to see the baby. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. And into every life, a little rain must fall. Let me see him. What do you got to assemble them first? Wow. Look at that face. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. He's a Star Wars character? Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Plo Koon.
Pro Koon?
No, Plo Koon.
Plo Koon. Let's see his face. Oh, he looks just like Grandpa Windy.
No.
Doesn't he look like Grandpa Windy?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't? Oh my goodness.
What's his bow?
Let's see what he's supposed to look like. Wow.
That's not what he's supposed to
Wow.
look like.
You want to paint them? How about if we paint them?
No!
Now anybody can just go to the store and buy toys. We're going to make our own. Look at that. Show me what he looks like. Bring him over here. Give me a Miles, look. Let's see what he looks like. He looks exactly the same. Look at that. Is that good?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. It looks like you're doing pretty good there. It looks just like him. Wow, that looks a lot more like me than like you.
Yeah, but you're not orange.
I'm not orange?
Yeah, you don't have an orange face.
I don't have an orange face? You're kidding. Let's see what came in the mail today. Let's see.
No.
Another Hero Masher. Holy gamba-doo-baga-baga.
Let's open it.
Okay, open it up.
How can we
Do you
get
think
this?
Grammy gets a kiss and a hug for that? Huh? I love you.
Oh,